car jerked forward just as Lina slammed her hand over her mouth. Her body twisted awkwardly beneath the leather seat, her heart pounding so violently it felt like it might burst out of her chest. If you think this was just another escape story, you're wrong. Stay with this till the end, because what happened next would change everything. Outside, the rain crashed down in sheets, but it couldn't drown out the furious voice chasing her. "Lina, get back here right now," her stepmother screamed, her footsteps splashing through puddles. Getting closer, sharper, more desperate, Lina squeezed her eyes shut, her fingers digging into the carpet beneath her. "Please, please don't let her find me," she whispered under her breath, barely audible even to herself. Just minutes ago, she had been standing in that small, suffocating house, her so-called home, her cheek burning from the force of a slap that had sent her stumbling into the wall. "You stole from me," her stepmother had shouted, her eyes filled with cold rage. "I didn't," Lina had cried, her voice breaking. "I swear, I didn't take anything." "Liar." The woman had grabbed her arm so tightly it hurt. "You think I don't know you, useless girl, after everything I've done for you." "Everything," Lina had whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You've done nothing but hurt me. That was when it got worse." "Enough," her stepmother had snapped. "If you won't be useful here, I'll make sure you are somewhere else. There's a man willing to take you. You should be grateful." Lina's blood had run cold. "No, I'm not going. I won't." "You don't have a choice." But Lina had made one. She ran, and now here she was, hiding in a stranger's car, praying it would be enough. The sudden sound of a car door opening above her made her freeze completely. Her breath caught. Not her stepmother, someone else. The driver's seat shifted as a man got in, his presence immediately filling the space with something heavy, controlled, powerful. The faint scent of expensive cologne replaced the damp smell of rain. Lina's eyes widened in panic. "No, no, no," she mouthed silently. The engine started with a smooth, quiet roar, and then the car began to move. Outside, her stepmother's voice echoed faintly, fading into the distance. "You ungrateful girl, you regret this." Lina bit her lip hard to stop herself from crying out. Tears slid down her face silently as the car carried her away from the nightmare she had just escaped. For a moment, relief washed over her. "I made it," she thought. "I actually made it." But that relief didn't last, because she wasn't safe. She was trapped in a stranger's car, a rich stranger's car. "And if he found her, I'll just stay quiet," she whispered in her mind. "Just stay quiet and he won't know." But fear has a way of betraying even the strongest will. A small, broken cough escaped her throat. The car slowed instantly. Lina's entire body went rigid. "No, please." The silence that followed was suffocating. Then slowly, the rearview mirror tilted. Their eyes met. The car came to a complete stop. Lina gasped, scrambling backward, hitting her head lightly as she tried to sit up. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't call anyone. I didn't mean to." "Get out," the man said, his voice low, calm, but commanding. Lina shook her head rapidly, her hands trembling. "Please, I'm begging you. I had nowhere else to go. I'll leave. I swear. Just not back there." His eyes narrowed slightly as he hurriedly studied her, her soaked clothes, her pale face, the fear that clung to her like a shadow. "Who are you?" he asked. I'm Lina," she said, her voice barely holding together. "Please don't take me back." "Back to who?" She hesitated, then whispered. "My stepmother." Something shifted in his expression, subtle but real. "What did you do?" he asked. "Nothing," she cried quickly. "I didn't steal anything. I didn't leave. Just, she hates me. She wants to send me away to someone I don't know. I couldn't stay. I couldn't." Her voice broke completely. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The rain softened outside, tapping gently against the windows now. "I'll be quiet," Lina said desperately. "You won't even notice me. Just let me stay until morning. Please, I'm begging you." The man leaned back slightly, his gaze never leaving hers. "You broke into my car," he said. "I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to feel safe." Silence stretched between them. Then he exhaled slowly. "One night," he said. Lina blinked, stunned. "What? You stay one night, then you leave?" Her breath hitched. Thank you so much." He didn't respond. He simply put the car back in motion. As the city lights blurred past the window, Lina leaned back, her body still trembling. She didn't know who he was. She didn't know where they were going. But deep down, something told her, this wasn't just an escape. This was the beginning of something she never saw coming. The car glided through the quiet streets, the tension inside it thick enough to suffocate. Lina sat stiffly, her fingers gripping the edge of the seat, as if letting go would send her falling back into the nightmare she had just escaped. She kept stealing glances at the man beside her, trying to understand him, trying to predict what he might do next. "Where are we going?" she finally asked, her voice small and uncertain. The man didn't look at her. "You asked many questions for someone who broke into my car." Lina swallowed hard and lowered her gaze. "I'm sorry." Silence followed again, but this time it felt heavier. The city lights outside gradually changed. Crowded streets gave way to quieter, more elegant surroundings. Tall gates, neatly trimmed hedges, and massive houses lined the road. Lina's eyes widened slightly. "This place," she whispered, almost to herself. The car slowed as it approached a large, imposing gate. It opened automatically. Her heart skipped. "Do you live here?" she asked before she could stop herself. "Yes." Just that, one word. The car pulled into a wide driveway, stopping in front of a mansion so grand it didn't feel real. Lina stared, her mouth slightly open. I can't go in there," she said quickly, panic creeping back into her voice. "I'll ruin something. I don't belong in a place like this." The man finally turned to look at her fully. "You didn't belong in my car either," she frowned. "See, get out," he added. Lina hesitated, then slowly stepped out of the car. Her wet shoes sank slightly into the gravel as she stood there, unsure of what to do next. The house loomed over her, intimidating, unfamiliar. She wrapped her arms around herself. "I'll just stay outside," she said quietly. "It's fine. I'm used to it." The man paused as he walked ahead, then stopped. "You get sick," he said without turning around. "I'll be fine. You're already shaking." She didn't respond. He let out a faint breath, almost like annoyance, then gestured toward the house. Inside, Lina hesitated again. "I don't want to cause trouble." "You already have." That shut her up. Slowly, she followed him inside. The warmth hit her instantly. It was overwhelming. Soft lights, polished floors, everything clean and perfect. Lina felt like she had stepped into another world. She stood near the door, afraid to move. "Close the door," he said. She quickly did. Water dripped from her clothes onto the floor, and she noticed immediately, panic flashing across her face. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'll clean it. I just need something." "Stop," he said calmly. She frowned. "See, a woman, likely a house staff member, appeared from the hallway." She looked at Lina with surprise, then at the man. "Sir," she asked. "Bring towels and dry clothes," he said. The woman nodded and disappeared without another word. Lina stared at him, confused. "You don't have to do this," she said softly. "I know." "Then why are you?" He didn't answer. Moments later, the towels and clothes were brought. Lina took them carefully, almost like they might disappear if she held them too tightly. "Bathroom is down the hall," the man said. "Thank you," she whispered. Inside the bathroom, Lina locked the door and just stood there for a moment. Then slowly, she sank to the floor, clutching the towel as quiet sobs escaped her. "I made it," she whispered. "I really made it." After a while, she cleaned herself up and changed into the dry clothes. They were too big for her, but warm, comfortable. When she stepped back out, she hesitated again, unsure of where to go. The man was in the living room, standing by the window, his back to her. "I'm done," she said softly. He turned slightly. "Sit." She obeyed immediately, perching on the edge of the couch. A tray of food was placed in front of her. Lina stared at it like she couldn't believe it was real. "Eat," he said. She looked up at him. "Is this for me?" "Yes." Her hands trembled as she picked up the fork. She took a small bite at first, then another, and then she couldn't stop. Tears filled her eyes as she ate. "I haven't," she paused, swallowing hard. "I haven't had food like this in so long." He watched her quietly. Between bites, she spoke again, her voice breaking. "Thank you. I don't know why you're helping me, but thank you." He didn't respond immediately. His eyes lingered on her, thoughtful, distant. "You said she wants to send you away," he said finally. Lina nodded quickly. "Yes, to a man I don't know." She said. "I should be grateful, but I'm scared. I don't want that life." Her grip tightened on the fork. "I just wanted a chance to live differently." The room fell silent again, but this time, something had changed. The distance between them didn't feel as cold, and for the first time since he found her, he didn't look at her like a problem. He looked at her like something he didn't quite understand yet, and that made Lina both hopeful and afraid. Lina didn't realize she had fallen asleep until her body jerked awake at the sound of footsteps approaching. For a split second, panic shot through her like lightning. "I didn't do anything, I swear," she blurted, her voice trembling as she sat her day up quickly. The man standing across the room paused, his brows tightening slightly. "You're shouting in my house at this hour?" Lina blinked, her breath uneven as she looked around. The soft couch beneath her, Let him lights. The silence. It wasn't her stepmother's house. She exhaled shakily. I'm sorry. I thought. You thought what? Asked. She hesitated, then looked down. That I was back there. The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. For a moment, he didn't speak. Then he walked further into the room, setting a glass of water on the table in front of her. Drink, he said. Lina nodded quickly, reaching for it with slightly shaking hands. Thank you. She drank slowly, her eyes occasionally flickering toward him. He stood at a distance, arms folded, watching her like he was trying to figure something out. Did she hit you often? He asked suddenly. Lina frowned mid-sip. She lowered the glass slowly. It doesn't matter. It's as if you're in my house. She hesitated, then gave a small nod. Yes. How long? Since my father died, she said quietly. At first it was just words. Then, it got worse. His jaw tightened slightly, and no one did anything. He pressed. She let out a small, bitter laugh. Who would? People see what they want to see. She smiles in public. She tells everyone how difficult I am. And you never tried to leave before? I did, Lina said, her voice soft but steady. Once, she found me, locked me in for 2 days without food. Her fingers tightened around the glass. I didn't try again, until tonight. Silence settled between them again, but it wasn't empty. It was filled with everything she hadn't said. What's your name? She asked suddenly, looking up at him. He paused. Then, Adrian. Lina repeated it softly, like she was testing how it felt. Adrian. He didn't react. Are you always this serious? She asked carefully. His expression didn't change. Are you always this talkative? She almost smiled. Almost. I talk when I'm nervous, she admitted. And right now, I'm very nervous. Why? She looked at him directly this time. Because I don't know what happens tomorrow. That answer seemed to catch him off guard, even if only slightly. You leave, he said simply. Her chest tightened. Oh, she whispered. She looked down at her hands, trying to hide the sudden wave of disappointment that hit her. Of course, she added quickly. That was the deal. Adrian watched her for a moment, his eyes narrowing just slightly. You expected something else? He asked. No, she said too quickly, then softer. I just didn't expect to feel safe for even one night. That did something small, but noticeable. He looked away first. You can sleep upstairs, he said after a moment. Lina blinked. What? There's a guest room. I'm fine here, she said quickly. Really? I don't need. You're not sleeping on a couch. She hesitated. I've slept on worse. I don't doubt that, he replied, but not here. She stared at him, unsure what to say. Thank you, she whispered finally, as she followed him upstairs. She couldn't shake the strange feeling growing inside her. This man, Adrian, he was cold, distant, hard to read, but he wasn't cruel, and that alone made him different from anyone she had known. At the top of the stairs, he stopped in front of a door and opened it. Stay here, he said. The room was beautiful, simple, but warm, a bed that looked too soft to be real. Lina stepped inside slowly. I won't touch anything, she said quickly. I promise. Adrian looked at her for a second longer than usual. Then, unexpectedly, he said, get some rest. Lina, her name. He said her name, something about that made her chest tighten in a way she didn't understand. Good night, Adrian, she replied softly. He closed the door behind her, and for the first time in years, Lina lay down on a bed without fear. But sleep didn't come easily, because deep down, she knew one thing. Morning would come, and with it, the possibility that everything she had just found would be taken away again. Morning came too quickly. Lina's eyes snapped open the moment sunlight touched her face, her body stiffening as if expecting danger. For a second, she didn't move. She just listened. No shouting, no footsteps storming toward her, no angry voice calling her name, only silence. She slowly sat her day up, her fingers gripping the edge of the soft bed. This is real, she whispered to herself. I'm still here, but the relief didn't last long. Reality returned just as quickly. You leave, Adrian's voice echoed in her mind. Her chest tightened. Right, I have to go. She swallowed hard and forced herself out of bed. The room felt too perfect, too peaceful, like something she wasn't allowed to keep. After freshening up as best as she could, she stepped out into the hallway, hesitant. Every step she took felt uncertain, like the ground might disappear beneath her. As she reached the bottom of the stairs, she saw him, Adrian Saturday, at the dining table, a cup of coffee in front of him, a tablet in his hand. He didn't look up immediately. Lina stood there awkwardly. Good morning. He glanced at her briefly. Morning. That was all. She shifted slightly, unsure if she should sit or leave or speak. Come, he said after a moment, gesturing to the chair across from him. She obeyed quickly. A plate of food Saturday in front of her. Lina stared at it, then at him. You didn't have to, I know. She hesitated, then picked up the fork. Thank you. As she ate slowly, she could feel his presence, calm, controlled, distant, yet somehow attentive. I'll leave after this, she said quietly, not looking up. Adrian didn't respond immediately. You don't have anywhere to go, he said instead. It wasn't a question. Lina's hand paused midair. I'll figure something out. She forced a small smile. I always do. He studied her for a moment, his gaze sharp. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have, she replied softly. Silence settled between them again. Then the sound of a phone ringing cut through the air. Adrian picked it up, his expression unreadable as he answered. Yes. He listened for a few seconds. Then his eyes shifted slightly toward Lina. No, that's not possible, he said calmly. Lina felt a strange chill run down her spine. Yes, I understand. I'll handle it. He ended the call. What is it? Lina asked carefully. Adrian placed the phone down slowly. Someone is looking for you. Her blood ran cold. No, they reported a theft. Lina's fork clattered onto the plate. That's not true. I didn't take anything. I assumed as much. Then why would they? She stopped. Her stepmother. She's trying to drag me back. Lina whispered, her voice shaking. If they find me, they'll believe her. They always do. Her breathing quickened. I can't go back there. I won't survive it this time. Adrian, I swear, calm down, he said firmly. I am calm, she snapped, then immediately covered her mouth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Look at me. She did. You're not going back there, he said. Her eyes widened. What? Not today. Hope flickered, then fear followed right behind it. But tomorrow, she asked quietly. He didn't answer, and that silence was louder than anything else. Before she could speak again, a voice echoed from the entrance. Sir, there's someone here insisting to see you. Adrian's expression darkened slightly. Oh, a woman? Lina's entire body frowned. No, she whispered. Footsteps approached, sharp, confident, familiar. And there you are. Her stepmother's voice rang out, cutting through the room like a blade. I knew you'd run somewhere like this. Lina's chair scraped against the floor as she stood abruptly, backing away. I didn't do anything, she said, her voice trembling. Stop lying, her stepmother scoffed, stepping further into the room. Oh, don't start acting innocent now. You stole from me and ran away. Imagine my shock finding out you're hiding in a place like this. She turned to Adrian, her expression shifting instantly into something softer, almost fake. I'm so sorry for the trouble she's caused you, she said sweetly. She's always been difficult. Lina stared at her in disbelief. You're lying. You're the one who. Enough, the woman snapped, her eyes flashing dangerously for just a second before she composed herself again. Adrian watched the exchange silently, his gaze moving between them. You're a guardian, he asked calmly. Yes, the stepmother replied, and I'd like to take her home now. Lina shook her head rapidly. No, please don't let her take me back. Her voice broke as she looked at Adrian, desperation clear in her eyes. She's lying, Lina whispered. Please, you have to believe me. The room fell silent, and in that moment, everything hung on his next decision. Adrian didn't respond immediately. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating, as his gaze moved from Lina's trembling figure to the woman standing so confidently across the room. Lina could feel her heartbeat in her throat. Say something, Lina whispered, her voice barely holding together. Please, her stepmother let out a soft, fake sigh. You see what I mean? She said, shaking her head slightly. She's always been dramatic, always creating problems where there are none. That's not true, Lina snapped, her fear turning into frustration. You're the one who. Lina, Adrian's voice cut through sharply. She frowned, not because of the tone alone, but because she couldn't tell what it meant. Do you have any proof? He asked, his eyes fixed on her. The question hit her like a blow. Proof, she repeated, her voice cracking. How am I supposed to have proof? I live in that house. They don't record every time so you don't, he said calmly. Her breath caught across the room. Her stepmother's lips curved slightly in quiet victory. I understand your concern, the woman said, stepping closer, but she's a troubled girl. Ever since her father died, she's been unstable. I've done my best to raise her properly. But you're lying, Lina cried, tears spilling down her face. You locked me in. You starved me. You tried to sell me off like I was nothing. Enough, her stepmother snapped again, her patience cracking for a brief second before she quickly regained composure. Look at her. She's making wild accusations now. Lina turned back to Adrian, desperation consuming her. Please, you saw me last night. You saw how scared I was. Do you really think I would make this up? Adrian didn't answer, and that silence broke something inside her. Her shoulders dropped slightly, her hands curling into fists. I knew it, she whispered, her voice hollow. I knew this was too good to last. She wiped her tears quickly, forcing herself to stand straighter. It's okay, she said quietly. You don't have to get involved. I'll go. No, her stepmother said immediately, her grip tightening as she stepped forward and grabbed Lina's arm. You're coming with me. Lina flinched hard at the contact. Don't touch me. Stop making a scene. The woman hissed under her breath, her nails digging into Lina's skin. Let go of me, Lina cried, struggling. Enough. Adrian's voice came again, colder this time, both of them frownsy. Remove your hand, he said, his gaze fixed on the stepmother. For a brief second, the woman hesitated. Then she slowly released Lina, forcing a tight smile. Of course, I didn't mean to be rough. She just tends to overreact. Lina quickly stepped back, putting distance between them, her breathing uneven. Adrian's eyes lingered on the faint red marks forming on her arm. Something shifted. Interesting, he said quietly. The stepmother's smile faltered slightly. Excuse me, you said she exaggerates. Adrian continued, yet she reacts to your touch, like it's something she's learned to fear. The woman's expression tightened. I think you're reading too much into am I? He interrupted. The room grew colder. Lina watched him, hope flickering again, fragile but alive. You reported a theft, Adrian said, his tone calm but sharp. What exactly was stolen? The woman hesitated just for a fraction of a second. Jewelry, she said quickly. A gold necklace. Very valuable. Adrian nodded slightly. And you're certain she took it? Yes, she was the only one in the house. Of course, he murmured. He turned slightly toward Lina. Did you take it? No, Lina said instantly. I swear, I didn't touch anything. I believe you. The words landed like thunder. Both Lina and her stepmother frowned. You, what? The woman said, her composure cracking completely now. Adrian's gaze returned to her, colder than before. You made a mistake coming here. I beg your pardon. You assumed I wouldn't look deeper. He said, you assumed I'd simply hand her over. The woman's face began to pale. I don't know what you're implying. I had a call this morning. Adrian continued calmly. Security footage from your street. Lina's eyes widened. You reported the theft. He said, his voice steady, but the footage shows no such incident. No missing item. No police report filed before you came here. The stepmother's lips parted, but no words came out. And more importantly, Adrian added, his voice dropping slightly, it shows something else. The room felt like it stopped breathing. You hitting her. He finished. Lina's breath caught sharply. The woman staggered back slightly. That thought's not. You should have been more careful, Adrian said, his tone now laced with quiet authority. Lace fall apart when examined closely. Silence crashed over the room. Lina stood frowning, her heart racing, her mind struggling to catch up. For the first time, someone believed her, and everything was about to change. Her stepmother's face had gone pale, her confident mask completely shattered. For the first time in years, Lina saw fear flicker in the eyes of the person who had caused her so much pain. Adrian's calm, unwavering stare held her captive, and Lina felt a rush of relief she hadn't thought possible. Take her home, he asked slowly, his tone almost mocking. Oh, I see. I don't think so. The woman stammered, searching for some ground to regain control. I just my responsibility not anymore. Adrian interrupted, his words sharp. You've proven you're unfit to care for her, and any further attempts to manipulate, threaten, or harm her will have consequences. Lina blinked rapidly, her mind spinning. Could it be that simple? That finally, after years of being trapped in fear, she was free. Her stepmother tried to muster her usual charm, but the thought had crumbled entirely. Please, you don't understand. I understand perfectly, Adrian said, stepping closer. You chose to hurt her when it was easier to appear kind. That ends now. The woman's shoulders sagged, a mix of anger and fear radiating from her. She realized in that moment she had lost not just to Lina, but to the man who had seen through her lies. Lina felt tears well up again, but this time they were different. Not the trembling, helpless tears of a frightened child, but the release of years of suffering finally being acknowledged. She has let them fall freely, her body shaking from a mixture of relief, disbelief, and exhaustion. Adrian stepped back, giving her space. You're safe now, he said quietly. No one can take that away from you. I don't know what to say, Lina whispered, her voice breaking. I thought I'd never be free, that I'd always be running. You don't have to run anymore, he replied. His voice was calm, almost gentle, but there was weight behind every word. Not from her, not from fear, not from yourself. She let out a shaky laugh. I can't believe this is real. It is, he said simply. Starting today, your life changes. For the first time in years, Lina felt hope, pure, unfiltered hope. The fear that had clung to her like a shadow began to lift, replaced by a new sense of possibility. She could breathe, she could dream, she could finally start living. Adrian gestured toward the room. You'll stay here as long as you need. I'll make sure no one from your past interferes. Lina's chest tightened, a wave of gratitude swelling within her. Thank you. I don't know how to repay you. You don't need to. He said, just promise me one thing. Anything. She said immediately. Live. He said, don't let fear dictate your life again. Take every chance. And make sure you never feel powerless like that again. She nodded, a small smile breaking across her face. I promise. The stepmother finally turned and left. Defeated, her attempts to control Lina shattered, and as the door closed behind her, Lina sank onto the soft couch, feeling the tension drain from her body. For the first time, she wasn't hiding, she wasn't running, she was safe. And as Adrian returned to his place by the window, Lina realized something profound. The man who had found her trembling under his car seat had given her more than protection, had given her the first taste of freedom she had ever known. She sat her day quietly, taking in the warmth, the quiet, the safety. She thought about her past, about all the pain and fear, but she also thought about the future. And for the first time, she smiled, a small, fleeting smile, but a full, genuine one. Her life had changed in ways she couldn't have imagined. And though she didn't know what tomorrow would bring, she knew this: she would never go back. She would never run again. She had found her escape, and it had come in the most unexpected form. Billionaire's car that had carried her from fear to freedom. And in that moment, Lina felt it fully, completely. Finally hope. Her story was far from over, but for the first time, she felt powerful enough to face it head on. And Adrian, he watched her quietly, knowing that sometimes, the smallest acts like letting someone hide in your car could change a life forever. Lina's eyes drifted to the window, the rain now gone, replaced by a bright morning sun. She breathed deeply, feeling the weight of the past finally lift, and knew that this was just the beginning. For the first time in years, she was free, and nothing, not even her stepmother, not even the past, could take that away. Lina's eyes drifted to the window, the rain now gone, replaced by a bright morning sun. She breathed deeply, feeling the weight of the past finally lift, and knew that this was just the beginning. For the first time in years, she was free, and nothing, not even her stepmother, not even the past, could take that away. If you loved Lina's story and want more tales of courage, heartbreak, and shocking twists in the lives of the rich and powerful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, tell us in the comments, which part of this elite CEO story shocked you the most: hidden passenger in the billionaire's car, or the stepmother's downfall? Your story of choice could inspire our next elite CEO tale.